We're going to be talking about Jazzy Circuit Season 6, which is actually starting on January 3rd. There's tons of great stuff already lined up. Mutant, how's your New Year's Eve so far, dog?
Happy New Year, Venka.
Happy New Year's, dog.
Happy New Year, everyone in Third Strike Land. Hope everyone is having a pleasant night. Thanks for taking some time out so we can talk a little bit about 2025,
yes,
David.
Dude. I'm so excited.
Wow. Is it just me, or did the finale just finish? It seemed like time has just...
I still haven't recovered, if that's what you mean.
flown by.
I still feel like I need to fucking take a nap after the finale.
Yeah, and now we are heading into an unprecedented Jazzy Season 6. Recently, someone that I spoke to had pointed out that Jazzy is probably the probably the longest running grassroots tournament series in the FGC.
I mean, it's been going on for a hot minute, and it's been a wild ride. A lot of great finales, a lot of great footage on YouTube right now as we speak.
And a lot of that is thanks to everyone on the stream, everyone in the chat, and also in no small part to you, David, Vencabot, the community that you've been able to grow and develop around this game ever since we met back in 2017. You don't get enough credit, and just wanted to give a shout outs to you and everyone else on the board and everyone who helps out, and above all else, everyone in the community who, we wouldn't be doing this if all of you weren't looking forward to Jazzy every year. And so you're the ones who keep us going. You're the ones who keep us motivated. And so kudos to you. It's been an amazing, how long have we been around now?
Since 2018? Yeah, it was the first Jazzy finale at the lovely New Yorker Hotel in Manhattan.
But enough of the pleasantries. I thought maybe I could come by before 2025 starts and just talk a little bit about next season, Jazzy Season 6.
Yeah, dude. So much stuff happening.
Yeah, we have some exciting things in store for next season. And so, yeah, I thought maybe we could go ahead and share the season plan that we posted on Twitter a few days ago. Kind of go through it, and if anyone has any questions, definitely write them in the chat. Not sure if we can get to all of them on the stream, but we will definitely take note of all those questions and get back to you. But as David said, Season 6 starts January 3rd. I believe the first official ranking event is an event that's happening in Virginia, I believe.
Let's find out. Jazzycircuit.org, guys. That's jazzycircuit.org. You can get our event schedule here. And there's already so many great events already lined up. I'm really impressed by people coming out in force and signing up to get their locals going. So looks like here in Virginia, I believe VA is Virginia.
Yes, Richmond is in Virginia. I mean, there are plenty of Richmonds in America, but I think the most well-known Richmond is in Virginia, David.
The King Returns 22 Frozen Fun. Then we got some Jazzy Online. Stupid Strike going hard as fuck this season. And then, of course, North Carolina running their shit on January 11th. So right off the bat, just tons of, the 12th, Dons.
Yeah, happy to see Dawn back, especially after COVID. Starting to host again, and now with the help, thanks to Balls Depe for taking the lead. Shout outs to Yuki for taking on that mantle and taking the initiative to start running ranking events in SoCal. And so looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully more people jump on that ranking event train. But yeah, I thought maybe we could kind of go through the season plan, especially for those of you who may not be too familiar with Jazzy. We are going to be posting this on the YouTube channel, so I know that many of you in the chat here are longtime Jazzy followers, Jazzy competitors. Again, thank you all for your support over the years. And so all of this, if some of this sounds like old hat, again, we're going to be posting this on the YouTube for anyone who isn't too familiar with what we do. But yeah, so what is Jazzy Circuit? Tournament series for Third Strike. For the past few years, we have been running it essentially for the first 6 months of the year, right?
Yes.
The schedule has changed throughout our tenure, but I think we are settling pretty nicely into that first half of the year.
Yeah, like January through July through June.
Yeah, and so just like with any tournament series, there are events that are all leading up to the Jazzy finale, which is our signature event happening this year, or next year, excuse me, jumping the gun here, but not for those of you who live in New Zealand or Australia. I think it's New Year's Day already, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're only an hour off here at East Coast.
Yeah. But yeah, so Jazzy finale next year is happening on June 20th to 22nd, 2025. For those of you who are curious, when we organize the tournament series every year, we kind of start backwards, right, David?
Yes, we start to organize the finale first, make sure we got that locked down, and then come up with more ideas as we go, for sure. Because the finale really is kind of like the heart and soul of the whole season. I mean, it's a really huge event, excellent venue. Again, returning to Akihabara Arcade in Westminster, Colorado. Such a great place, and I can't wait to see you guys there. Yeah,
I actually wanted to take this time to give a shout outs to Akihabara, the owner Brandon, Stone Cold Ryan Meyer, everybody who works there at Akihabara to keep it as one of the premier places. I know there's been a lot of talk recently, especially on social media, about the decline of venues and arcades. And so for anyone, whether you go to the finale or not, if you find yourself in the Denver, Colorado area, please consider visiting Akihabara Arcade. It is a barcade, 2 rooms, 2 spaces, a bar space, and then a space dedicated to head-to-head fighting game arcade machines and other machines. Even if you don't play fighting games, look at the list of games that Akihabara has. You can play just about anything. So whether you're a fighting game fan or a sports game fan or a music game fan, a Jazzy member, a Jazzy board member, DJ Isco, shout outs to Rico wherever you are, big or huge music fan. Also, a little birdie told me that Brandon DJs actually.
Oh, I'm surprised to hear that.
Aki. And Aki runs all sorts of different events. I mean, that is kind of what you have to do, to stay open as an arcade. You have to kind of mix things up, diversify. So yeah, just shout outs to Brandon and Akihabara for agreeing to host yet another Jazzy finale. This will be the 3rd one in the year. The last 2 were amazing.
Yeah, that's why we're coming back.
Yeah. So here's kind of the breakdown of how the tournament series is. So essentially, everyone's trying to compete for a spot in the 16-player Jazzy finale. It happens on the last day of Jazzy finale weekend. It's one final 16-player bracket, and there are 4 ways to qualify for the 16-player Jazzy finale in June, starting in January. And so I guess I would say, one of the more direct ways is to win one of the 5 Jazzy auto qualifiers that we have scheduled for next season. The second is to finish in the top 5 in offline ranking events. Just a quick word about offline ranking events. If you know, or if you are part of a scene that has a venue and that you play Third Strike, or even if you don't have a venue and it's just you and your friends and you decide, hey, I want to start playing Third Strike, maybe I could start a scene up, reach out to us, hit us up. That is why we exist. Whether you end up running a Jazzy event or not, part of why we exist is to, again, help people who are interested in not just starting Third Strike scenes, but just any type of arcade fighting game scenes. Yeah. And so definitely reach out to us. But for those of you, who are interested in participating in the Jazzy Circuit Tournament Series and are interested in throwing your hat in the ring and seeing if you can earn points, remember that anyone can run a Jazzy offline ranking event as long as they meet certain criteria. And so make sure you follow us, visit us on Discord, hit me up, hit Venka up, and then we can kind of walk you through the process. But it is pretty easy peasy. Not too many requirements. But yeah, if you are part of a scene or you're interested in running your own Jazzy ranking event, let us know. And so players who finish in the top 5 in points for ranking events, they also qualify for the Jazzy finale. Something that we started last year, David, and in no small part thanks to, again, your hard work in cultivating an online scene for the game. We started including online players.
Yeah, which was so great last season. It was so great to see some players, who are legendary in the Fightcade Third Strike community actually come up to the finale and throw down, with some of the longest running players in the game. That was such a huge privilege and something I think was really exciting last season, right? To see Boa competing with all of the Third Strike heavy hitters whose names might go back a little bit further into the Third Strike history books, but Boa really came out hard last season. And I think this season's going to be no less exciting with regards to the Jazzy online events. This season's online events, they are what? They are ending the season is going to be Southeast Throwdown. We also have a Deadlock returning from last season. We've got a new tournament series entering the Jazzy online events that is Frosty Fight Club. They're players that run Third Strike at least weekly. We also are going to be having Option Select, Versaga and Mustard Back, and FIFA King are joining us for Jazzy Online this coming season. And let's see, so that was Deadlock, Southeast Throwdown, Option Select, Frosty Fight Club, and a Stupid Fighter, of course. Stupid Fighter. They're the first online event this coming season in January. We'll talk about that more on Twitter very shortly. But yeah, once again, Stupid Fighter, they've been supporting Third Strike on their channel for years and years and years now. They're one of the channels that I look up to as a Third Strike streamer in terms of how many events they've run. And I'm really excited to see how this next season of online shakes out. It's going to work very similar to last season. We're going to be having 5 events for Jazzy Online this season. And the top 2 in terms of ranking points will be going to the Jazzy finale. Now, unlike last year, Mutant, we discussed this at length, the idea of changing how the point structure works compared to last season. So it's going to be quite a bit more competitive and much fewer events this year. The hope is that you guys will be able to play more in these events and not be so burnt out. Last season we did 15 online events. This season we're going down to 5. And I think with the point structure that Mutant and Rico came up with is going to make it a lot more fun as well for a lot of players.
Yeah, so essentially the way that the online portion of the Jazzy Tournament series works is, as Vanka said, we're going to have one online tournament every month from January to May. And the online events have their own separate point system from the offline ranking events. And the top 2 players who earn the most points at the end of those 5 events will also qualify for the Jazzy finale. And then, if you were unable to qualify during the regular season, you can always go to Jazzy finale weekend and compete in the last chance qualifier. 2 pools, 2 players advance out of each pool, and not a math teacher, David, but I think that equates to 16, right?
Yes, yeah. 5, 5, 2, and 4 at 16, yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. We are good at the math.
It would be crazy if we fucked that up. We were like, oh shit, dude, fuck.
I know, right? Oh, wait, 17? Nope. Well, too bad. Hey, could you do a quick favor for me, David?
Yeah.
Could you F11?
Yes. Let's see here.
Just press. I think that should work. Does that work?
Yes. Let me see if I can get this full screen for you guys. Because the stream only sees the 4x3 still. Let's see if I can adjust this for you guys.
That doesn't really matter. It's fine.
Well, let's do it this way as well. Let's do it like this. Is that... no, this actually might be good enough here. Yeah, let's do it this way.
Okay, great. All right. So, yeah. Now, as far as the auto qualifiers go, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the 5 auto qualifiers. And so, yeah, as you can see from the map, we run auto qualifiers in different states throughout the season. And there are 5 auto qualifiers. You can sign up for all of them. You can actually click on the name of the venues, David, and it'll take you to the Start GG pages.
Wow.
I think.
I don't think it's working in this case, but they're all available on the jazzycircuit.org page as well on our event schedule.
Yeah, you have to run it as a slideshow. That's why.
I see.
Yeah, if you run it as a slideshow, you'll be able to click it. Also, you can follow along, guys. If you could just drop the link in, David, real quickly. plan.jazzycircuit.org.
Here you go, guys. It's going to be at plan.jazzycircuit.org to follow along with the slideshow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a mistake, Ryan. Again, we're okay in the maths. Our geography is not that great.
We're Americans, guys.
But,
Got some slack.
Yeah, I mean it's close enough.
It's American
okay?
Third Strike, okay?
Close enough. But yeah, it should be a little bit higher. But yeah, the first auto qualifier is going to be at Brooklyn Games. Brooklyn Games has been in the FGC Twitter sphere and social media quite a bit. Unfortunately, the owner, Steve, announced that Brooklyn Games might be closing. But thanks to the tremendous outpouring of support from the community, not just the fighting game community, but from the arcade gaming community, it seems as though Steve is trying to keep it open with your help. And so one way you can help is attend the Jazzy Auto Qualifier at Brooklyn Games, January 25th. By the way, all these auto qualifiers are on Saturdays. They're one-day events. And so January 25th is the first one, Brooklyn Games. Shout-outs to Casa Bunch.
Yes, dude. Thank you, Casa Bunch.
And everyone over at Brooklyn Games. Last season, we actually ended the auto qualifier tour with Brooklyn Games. And this season, we are starting with Brooklyn. And so looking forward to seeing how Brooklyn Games sets the tone for this season. I can already hear fireworks where I am, David.
Happy
People
New
are starting
Year's.
early here. Yeah, it's only 9 o'clock here. So yeah, people are getting a head start.
Well, they're celebrating the Brooklyn Games.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting excited already.
I'm looking forward to seeing what fireworks go off at the Brooklyn Games auto qualifier.
Wow, you're right.
The Brooklyn NYC Third Strike crew has a great mix of killers, titans, veterans, up-and-comers, people with a lot of promise. And so, you know, definitely consider coming out if you are in the New York area to just check it out even. You can even just check out and spectate if you want. There's nothing like Third Strike. There's nothing like fighting games offline. There's just something about it that hits different, David.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, and so definitely check it out. Maybe you could drop the link for the sign-up chat for those in the chat.
Sure. For Brooklyn Games, here you go.
Yeah, start.gg/Jazzy Brooklyn. Definitely make it out. It's $25. That includes entry into the venue all day, admission into the tournament, and food. So definitely come out for anyone who might be interested in going. But if you can't go, say you're in the Midwest, again going back to ranking events, one of our big partners who have decided to run ranking events again this season is Frosty Faustings. So for those of you who are in the Midwest, I'm sure many of you are familiar with Frosty Frostings if you're in the fighting game circle. If you enter Third Strike there, you can also earn points.
A ton of
points. It's going to be a ton of points because, again, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Jazzy, the way it works is that the more people that are entered into the tournament, the more points you can earn. And so we'll talk a little bit about ranking events once we, finish going through all the auto qualifiers. But again, even if you don't win the auto qualifier, David, you still earn points.
Hella points, yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, definitely check it out. January 25th, Brooklyn Games. In February, here comes the new challenger, right? So to speak. Courtesy of Riz1 Super Lore Boys, we're going to be running the California auto qualifier for the first time ever in NorCal at a brand new venue called Magitech Games in Milpitas, California. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Milpitas, this is Silicon Valley. This is the San Jose area. The San Jose airport is actually just maybe like a 8-minute drive, something like that, from the venue. So pretty convenient. Third Strike NorCal has a long history, David, and for anyone who has been following the Third Strike scene, especially in America, knows the long legacy that the NorCal players have, and they're a very proud bunch. They're a very skilled bunch, and I am really, really looking forward to seeing a lot of the NorCal players. There have been NorCal players in the past, or Central Cali players, I guess, depending on your geography or whatever. But of course, last season, Neem, what up Neiman, traveled to Arizona to win and to secure his spot in the Jazzy finale. He came in second at last season's Jazzy finale. He reps NorCal, excuse me. We have Mommy Makoto Mike, who is also from NorCal. Kara Palm, who attended the Jazzy 2 Invitational. So a lot of talent. Also looking forward to seeing who kind of crawls out of the woodwork in the most endearing way possible. Because again, NorCal has a long history in Third Strike. A lot of players, and so. And because it's in NorCal, I'm curious. We kind of talked a little bit about Don's, and SoCal. It's not a hop and a skip away, but hopefully some SoCal players, that are down with Third Strike will consider making the trip up to Magitech, the SoCal-NorCal rivalry. Very interested to see if maybe we can, Jazzy can have a hand in rekindling that. And so really interested to see if any SoCal Third Strike players, because we all know how strong SoCal Third Strike is. When we think about it, technically, the 3 out of the 5 last finales were won by SoCal Third Strike
That's
players.
interesting when you put it that way. I didn't think about that way before.
Ryan B won the inaugural Jazzy finale in season 1. 5-star Yi Wang won the season 2 invitational. And then last year, season 5, Amir from SoCal won the Jazzy finale. So we all know, especially if you follow Third Strike and fighting games, we all know how strong the Third Strike scene is down there. And so I don't know, maybe we can figure out a way to get some people to come up and kind of rekindle that rivalry again between NorCal and SoCal. But again, shout outs to Riz, shout outs to everyone who works at Magitech, Johnny the owner, and definitely check out Magitech. It's a fairly new venue, at least the arcade portion. Their main business is card games, so first floor is mainly card games. And then, the second floor is, populated with some head-to-head Japanese cabs. So definitely check them out. And again, if you want to sign up, start.gg/Magitech. All right. So in March, for, I believe, the 3rd year in a row, I think. It might be the 3rd year in a row.
I think it is.
Yeah, the Gaming Zone in Tempe, Arizona, which is just, right around Phoenix. That's where the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport is. The Gaming Zone will once again be hosting a Jazzy Auto Qualifier. Shout outs to Action Hank, who recently moved to that area, who has, taken it upon himself to help with running the Cactus League, which is their kind of group of Third Strike players. And so, shout outs to everyone in the TGZ Cactus League, Phoenix Third Strike scene. Really looking forward to, seeing who comes out for that. Again, the Arizona Third Strike scene has been one of the fastest rising Third Strike scenes in the last few years. I can't think of a better place to pick up the game than in AZ. And so, David's kind of scrolling through the website. TGZ is a great venue, great venues. They have multiple venues. If you like video games, if you like gaming and all that stuff, definitely visit TGZ. They got tons of games, and we're going to be running the tournament in the Tempe location. The Tempe location has a separate arcade. TGZ is run by a couple of brothers, as you can see in that photo there on the website. Tons of games. Again, definitely check it out if you're in the Phoenix area. I think it was voted a couple years ago as the best video game store in all of Phoenix, and that's no honor to scoff at, David. If anyone is familiar with how big Phoenix is. All right. And of course, if you want to sign up for the Gaming Zone Auto Qualifier, start.gg/Jazzy Cactus.
Jazzy Cactus.
Yeah. One of the great things about last year's TGZ, and I believe it's making a comeback, is that anyone who signs up for the TG Auto Qualifier as with the Brooklyn Games auto qualifier, it does come with food. We're gonna have a taco truck at TGZ. Oh my god, TGZ taco truck. So shout outs to Ray Ramos and everyone in the Cactus League for making that happen. Proud partners with the Jazzy circuit. The fourth auto qualifier of the season happens in April 26th. Logan Arcade for the third time in a row.
The Midwest.
Deep in the heart of Chicago.
Such a great location for Midwest players like me because it's so easy to travel out to. And if you're anywhere in this area, you know what I'm saying? Chicago's also got a really great airport. It's so easy to get out to there. Dude, I love Logan Arcade as well. Great venue. I'm so pumped for Jazzy Logan.
Shout outs to Mr. Part 2, Jazzy board member and event director for the Logan Arcade Auto Qualifier. Chicago has a great scene. Super fun venue in Logan Arcade. Primarily known for pinball. But great drinks, great vibes, great games. Definitely come out. Start.gg/Jazzy Logan. Yes. Go to Logan, guys. Definitely make it out. And then finally in May, again, you Third Strike players know that the last big Third Strike tournament that happened was a couple months ago in October in Hurst, Texas, which is deep in the heart of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It happened at Central Arts Arcade. It was the Third Strike Open, the 3S Open. All of the heavy hitters came out, and the DFW Third Strike scene even flew out some high-profile Japanese Third Strike players, including Genki and Shinta, among others. And for those of you who watched that event, how could we not have a Jazzy event at Central Arts at Arcade? I can't think of a better way to cap off Season 5 than to, see who qualifies. The DFW Third Strike scene, obviously Jazzy and the DFW scene has a long history. We ran the Season 3 auto qualifier at our with our friends over at Free Play Arcade, and now the DFW Third Strike scene has carved out its own venue here, thanks to the efforts of Cedric and Wax. This is Arcade. From I haven't been there yet, but from everyone that I've talked to, it's a really chill venue. There's going to be lots of cabs, a lot of hungry hippo Third Strike players. David.
Yeah, for sure. That scene is going nuts.
Yeah. If 3SO was any indication, the level of play is going to be super high. And
it's also Texas. I mean, Texas 3S goes crazy.
Yeah. And best part of all, hey, Central Arts is a nonprofit, just like Jazzy, a 501c3 nonprofit. Central Arts is, generally an art space that promotes the arts and anything kind of creative-minded, trying to support, that part of culture over in the Mid-Cities area. And so it's really cool to see Central Arts and Arcade and the efforts of Cedric to kind of bring in that arcade scene as well. And so, can't think of a better place to end the auto qualifier tour for Season 6 than at Arcade. And so remember and here's something new that we didn't do last season, David. Anyone who wins Jazzy auto qualifier, not only, in previous years we have, provided complimentary airfare to everyone who qualifies for the Jazzy finale, which we will continue to do next season. But for this season, we're happy to, inform everyone that anyone who wins the Jazzy Auto Qualifier not only is going to win complimentary airfare to the Jazzy finale, not only is going to receive free admission to Jazzy finale weekend, but will also receive a 3-night hotel accommodation at our hotel across the street from Aki, the Origin Hotel.
Oh my god. If you guys were at Jazzy last year, you guys already know. The Origin is such a lovely hotel. It's right across the street from the venue. Dude, shout out to the Origin for helping out with that as well.
And Westminster is kind of a, it's kind of like a suburb outside of Denver, but like the area where the Origin is in, the area where Aki is in, and anyone who's interested in hosting especially arcade events, but just fighting game events in general, definitely consider Aki. I think Aki is it's in a really great area. The Origin Hotel was in this area that's kind of like in a shopping district. Aside from like residential apartments, there's also an Alamo Draft House. I'm a big fan of Alamo Draft House. There's a bunch of restaurants. Bonchon, the Korean fried chicken spot. They opened one. I'm a proud supporter of the Olive Garden. I think there's an Olive Garden, right across the street from, or is that another Italian spot I'm thinking of? I think that is Olive Garden.
I think it's Olive Garden. Yeah, that's where we had dinner. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, I think there's a JCPenney too. I'm not sure. There's some sort of shopping.
Third Strike and JCPenney, dog.
Who rocks with JCPenney in the chat? Let me see the JCs. It's the same initials as the Jazzy Circuit. Write JC in the chat if you're down for some JCPenney.
Dude, we should.
You're the real one if you shopped at JCPenney growing up. I know I did, David.
Dude, the lore of it being the same initials as Jazzy Circuit, that goes crazy. That goes crazy.
Yeah.
Jazzy Circuit Penny, dude. We gotta get them to fucking sponsor us.
Yeah. But so if you win an auto qualifier, you get airfare, you get admission, and you get 3 nights stay at the Origin Hotel.
Very, very nice.
Sign up. Never know, shoot your shot, see what happens. You might win.
JCPenney.
Yeah. But like I said, even if you don't win an auto qualifier, you still get points because auto qualifiers are ranking events.
Yes.
So just real quickly, for those of you who aren't familiar with ranking events, I like to think ranking events are the backbone of the Jazzy Tournament Series. Again, we allow anyone to run their own Jazzy ranking event. There's no gatekeeping here. If you are interested in getting together with some friends, you want to run Third Strike on any platform, whether it's on arcade, Switch, Xbox, PS4, even FB Neo, Fight K2 offline.
If you have a laptop, guys, and a couple of friends who want to play 3S, then you can run a Jazzy event. Yes. And if you have any problems, let us know. We'll help you out any way we possibly can. Like Mutant pointed out earlier, one of the main ambitions of the Jazzy Circuit is to get more players and more community members to feel more comfortable running more events. And if you're somebody who's never run an event before in your life, and again you have a laptop with Fightcade on there, if you have even no one down to play, we'll do our part to try to promote your event, on social media, wherever we can, to get some players there, see what we can do, and hopefully you'll get some guys together and play Third Strike.
Yeah. So whether you're a player, or a organizer, or a venue owner or a venue provider, if you're interested in hosting a Third Strike tournament, reach out to us. We'll try to help as best as possible, walk you through the process. But again, anyone can host an event as long as they, follow some pretty basic rules, right? There's a rule set that, we have in place. Also, the at least top 8 has to be streamed.
Yes.
It's one event per month per venue. And again, the 5 players who earn the most points at the end of the regular season also qualify for the Jazzy finale and receive complimentary airfare. And so this is the point system for this season. And so, if you place top 8, you get points. And again, as I mentioned, the more players enter in the tournament, the more points you get. And so we were talking about Frosty, which happens on the same weekend as the auto qualifier. Frosty has to have at least 100 players already.
Yeah.
So that means they're going to be what we would call an MSF tier tournament, which means first place is going to get 800 big points. David, big money, 800 points.
Yeah, definitely make them a shoe-in for the top 5 in terms of the ranking points leaderboard. It's a really great way to kind of get an early lead in the season.
Yeah, head start. Pile up those points early on. Interested to see who comes out to Frosty and tries to get that early lead at the beginning of the season. But yeah, again, whether you're a player, an organizer, a venue provider, if you're interested in Third Strike, if you love Third Strike, if you've seen it, It's arguably probably the most famous retro Street Fighter game, behind, probably World Warrior or whatever, right? So the Third Strike is, becoming very ubiquitous, not just in the FGC, but in, the world of gaming. And so, definitely reach out to us, join our Discord. As we talked about before, Jazzy Online. As David said, a little bit of the lore last season. We kind of went ham.
We went
online.
so hard last year. It was so much fun. It was so much fun,
Yeah.
and yet it was a little bit much. I'm really glad we're knocking things down to a Jazzy Online monthly this coming season. So
Yep.
once a month we're doing Jazzy Online.
Yeah, and so so David kind of broke down the schedule already in reverse order. But yeah, so basically it's going to be a monthly. The dates are there. Again, if you're if you're following along on your own and you're clicking on those links, there's links to all the Start GG pages and all the dates. And so shout outs to all of the organizers and all the streamers and content creators, all the stream channels, all the stream teams that have agreed to host a Jazzy Online event. And again, these aren't auto qualifiers, right? You have to play in all 5 of them. And so again, everyone who competes, the Jazzy Online tournaments have their own separate leaderboard. And so the 2 players that earn the most points at the end of all 5 events also are flown out to the Jazzy finale to compete. Last season in the inaugural Jazzy Online event, the 2 players that ended up representing Jazzy Online were Po22222 and Boa, who David already had mentioned. And so looking forward to seeing who enters these Jazzy
who's coming
Online
out? Who's
events
coming out? Who's taking all the
this season.
points?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't go to a venue, if you can't go out, you want to play Third Strike in your room in your underwear, go right ahead.
It's not against the law. Not yet.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. So yeah, check it out. It's free to enter, by the way. Free
Yes,
to
of course.
enter. And so sign up today. You never know. Again, shout outs to Fightcade for allowing us to play this game online and to, again, spread the good word of Third Strike to everyone.
Yeah, you can find the schedule as well, guys, on our Jazzy Circuit schedule. That's at jazzycircuit.org. It brings you to the start page. You can find event schedule. You can find the online events here as well. You can actually filter it to only the online events with this link. And signups are open, guys, for all 5 events already. So we see some players already signed up for Jazzy Returns at Stupid Strike. Shout out to Stupid Strike. They're coming back for their second back-to-back Jazzy Online participation. And we're seeing, quite a lot of players already signed up for these being months and months off. Be among them, guys. Go sign up right now. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys one more time here.
Yeah, keep in mind, remember, we need a minimum of 16 players in each Jazzy Online event for it to count for points. So definitely sign up now.
So in the chat, Banks has a good question here for MutantXP. He says here, what the heck is a Third Strike?
What the heck is a Third Strike? That's a good question, J.R. Banks.
We're trying to figure it out,
Third
dog.
Strike is a video game, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. That's what we call Third Strike. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is I guess you could call the 3rd iteration of the world-famous Street Fighter game series, fighting game series. This is the game that we happen to play and love. I've been playing the game for who knows how long, ever since it came out. Third Strike was first released in 1999 and enjoyed its 25th anniversary last season. Again, if you don't know anything about Street Fighter, if you don't know anything about fighting games, maybe you're familiar with something called Evo Moment 37, which was a moment that happened during a tournament match between Justin Wong and Daigo, 2 pillars of Street Fighter on the Mount Rushmore of fighting games. And so, yeah, check it out, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Why Third Strike? Oh, there's dozens of Street Fighter titles, right? But Third Strike's the best.
It's the best.
I'm sorry if anyone is offended for me hearing that, for me saying that.
We might be a little bit biased.
Third Strike
but
is just the best. It's like, the Third Strike is like the Bret Hart of the Street Fighter franchise, right? The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And that's Street Fighter 3 Third Strike in a nutshell.
And we're better to play Third Strike than Jazzy Finale Weekend.
Yeah. But, speaking of which, though, just because, we adore Third Strike and we think it's the greatest fighting game ever made for a lot of reasons, we're also, we also like to welcome the other games. A couple years ago at Akihabara, and one of the cool things about doing it at Aki, David, is it allowed us to Capcom screwed Brett. No, 3veg, you know who screwed Brett, okay? I'm not even gonna repeat it, but we all know who screwed Brett. But anyway, going back to Street Fighter, one of the things that I really loved about us moving the finale to Akihabara, David, is because we were able to include a lot of the other games. And so starting in Season 4, we would run side events. I just realized we don't really mention that in the Jazzy plan, so I think we definitely should maybe include that somewhere. But yeah, because Akihabara is such a great venue, we've been able to run side events for other games. I believe a couple of years ago in the Season 4 Jazzy finale, the side events we ran that year were, it was a 2v2 Super Turbo 2X tournament. Mao, the claw player from Japan, came to the Jazzy finale. Unfortunately, he didn't qualify through Last Chance, which, tells you, how serious the Last Chance auto qualifier is. Like if, and again, at the risk of intimidating people who may not, be familiar with Third Strike, or who may be new to it, but who may not, who are just playing it casually. We're trying to kind of accommodate everyone, and one of the things that makes Jazzy different is that we are an event for the Third Strike purist as well. And so if you're going to come to Jazzy finale weekend, the one thing that you can guarantee is that everyone who goes to the finale absolutely loves Third Strike.
And they're playing a lot of Third Strike. And also it's a great learning experience, right? For all skill levels. I mean, it's very important if you're brand new to the game, enter a tournament, enter the Last Chance qualify. You're probably get knocked out, round 1. But the important thing is, A, you're getting tons of casuals on so many setups.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Another reason why we wanted to move it at Aki. For people who've attended the Jazzy finale the last 2 years at Aki, you get a lot of casuals in. We try to end the main events, sometime around 6, 7, but then Aki's open until like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And so the rest of the time, you got all those cabs just to play casuals. And I think that's like the thing that makes the Jazzy finale a little different from maybe some of the other FGC events. And not to knock those FGC events, but we really wanted to find a place and design an event where people could just play casuals, could just grind. And because once you're out of the tournament, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
And so people who've attended the Jazzy finale the last couple of years could probably attest to this. You get in a ton of games, especially people that you may not have gotten a chance to compete against or play with, but only have played online on Fightcade. And again, Fightcade's great, but we all know offline Third Strike hits a little bit different. And so it's again a great way to meet new people, make friends, put faces to some of those wacky screen names that you see on Fightcade that aren't very appropriate sometimes, but
like what, like
but it's always great. But yeah, it's a great time at the finale. Even if besides like the actual competitions, a lot of it's just the casuals and just being able to get in a lot of games because there's so many cabs.
And not just that, but you also have access to the players, right? It's one thing that's really special about the Jazzy finale. It's a Third Strike centric event with some other games there as well. But compared to going to a major where you're there with a bunch of other players who are there for Street Fighter 6 or there to play Tekken, but they're playing 3S as well, which we love, of course. But when you go to the finale, not only are you getting a lot of casuals, but you're getting mentorship, coaching. You're making connections with players that have been in the scene that are also new to the game like you. It's a great way to meet people and get Discord usernames and create relationships that might actually help you grow in the game for years to come.
Yeah, Jazzy's mission is to further the appreciation of video game culture, and part of doing that is trying to design an event that gives people a taste of what it was like in the FGC. And I don't mean getting stabbed or having fights or going in shady places, but just being in an arcade environment. It's it's a declining experience, and we're so fortunate to have business owners like Brandon from Akihabara, Steve from Brooklyn Games, and all the other venues that we work with. It's a weekend where you can kind of get a taste of fighting games, the way they were played back in the day, and there's just something about that arcade experience that we just don't get anymore, and you could definitely get a taste of that at the Jazzy finale. But speaking of the Jazzy finale, I know we kind of went ham there, but this is just kind of a breakdown of the weekend. Friday. By the way, Jazzy finale weekend, for those of you who are wondering, when can I sign up for the Jazzy finale? Very soon. Soon as in maybe in the next couple weeks or so.
Stay tuned.
So yeah, keep an eye out on that. We have some exciting things planned for this year's Jazzy finale. And so this is kind of the basic schedule that we've stuck with the last couple years. So on Friday, we kick off the weekend with a 5-on-5 team tournament. Those of you who have been following Third Strike and the FGC know that Evo Japan next year will be hosting, not just Beat Tribe for VF, but Co-op Cup for Third Strike. Co-op Cup is the long-running team tournament that served as, to me, kind of the signature event, right? The Super Bowl of Third Strike every year. I had the pleasure and the honor of being able to compete at a Co-op Cup. Many people have competed in multiple ones. It's the event that, for the longest time before COVID, all the Japanese players were, looking forward to, and it's going to be making its return as part of Evo Japan. And I think Evo Japan is in April or May. I keep forgetting what exact month it is. I think it's in late April. But if you can't go to Japan and you can't compete in Co-op Cup, you can again, get a little taste of what it's like to compete in a 5v5 team tournament at the first day of the Jazzy finale. And so it's always been hype, the team tournament, and so that's what we're kicking it off with. And then on Saturday, we talked a lot about the last chance qualifier. 2 pools, 2 players get out of each pool and make it to Sunday, which is the championship finale. Again, it's a 16-player bracket. Everything gets reset. It's one bracket to crown a Jazzy Circuit champion. And so, yeah, that's kind of the basic breakdown of the schedule. And on every day, kind of going back to we were talking about including other games, every day of the finale, we run side events, side tournaments. A couple years ago, we ran ST, that 2v2 ST. We also ran S3 Fighter 4.
Yeah, shout out to Synapse.
On Brandon's Vulix's. Shout out to Synapse for running that. Last year, we did, what did we do, David? We did ST and Marvel 2.
Marvel 2, yes. Shout out to Dr. Fat Body.
So, yeah, stay tuned to hear what games we'll be running, side tournaments we'll be running this year. You're not going to want to miss it. But, yeah, it's just kind of an attempt to kind of include the other games. Again, Third Strike's the best. Sorry for anyone who's offended from hearing that, but that doesn't mean we can't appreciate the other games. And again, just part of that whole arcade experience, right? You went to the arcade, you didn't just hear Third Strike. You heard other games like the Alpha games and, the Street Fighter 2 games and even non-titles like KOF. And so, stay tuned to hear what side events we're running next finale.
So now, we're
go
almost
ahead.
here. Looks like we're almost at January 3rd right now. So
yeah.
That time is nigh for us to start getting these ranking events and auto qualifiers and online events underway. All this stuff is in the past here, guys. If you guys missed your chance to be in the first week of the Jazzy Circuit Season 6 and still sign up, you still have time to become get your first event for January, right? There's still time to get your the 2-week minimum for registering your local with the Jazzy Circuit. Plenty of time to get into January, guys.
Again, if regardless of who you are, if you're a fan of Third Strike and you want to get involved with Jazzy, just hit us up, join our Discord. We're more than welcome. We're more than happy to help you out and talk to you and see how we can get ranking events going in your neck of the woods. But yeah, it's just kind of a breakdown of the schedule. Again, Season 6 starts on January 3rd, and then the season ends May 18th. And then the Jazzy finale is scheduled for June 20th to 22nd. And so just kind of keeping track of the tournament calendar. These are just some of the things that we try to do to try to grow our scene. We have an organizer's guide. Again, we've been working on this organizer's guide. It's a link that's available. It's basically a Google Drive. You can access it either through a link through the Start GG, through our Jazzy homepage or league page, or you can access it through guide.jazzycircuit.org. It's got a bunch of different resources that you can kind of look at to help you run an event. And again, the most important resource is us. So anyone interested in running a Jazzy event, join our Discord, hit us up on Twitter, email us jazzycircuit@jazzycircuit.org, and we will kind of show you the way here. But yeah, we're trying to grow this organizer's guide. So for those of you who have been involved with Jazzy throughout the years, if there's anything that you think we should add to the organizer's guide, let us know. Let us know how we can, again, try to keep this game alive and just keep retro fighting games and arcades alive in general. And so this is just some of the things that we, are doing to try and, again, grow the community and try to reach out and try to get more people to play Third Strike. We also have some, sponsorship opportunities if you want to support Jazzy.
Shout out to Big from McKinney Makes.
Support. Yeah.
In the past, we've actually had people that are in the 3S community who have their own businesses who have, helped us out through, signing for sponsorships. Much appreciated. We were able to promote their business on the Jazzy Auto Quals and, of course, the Jazzy Finale and even the ranking events. And yeah, if you are a Third Strike player and you have a business, reach out to us. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so that's it for the Jazzy plan. I just wanted to say a few words about this photo, which is like, it's
cool
one of the most
photo.
amazing photos ever.
Cool
And so,
photo.
I don't know if anyone follows this account on Twitter, but there's an account that came out a few years ago called Arcade Random Posting, and the person behind the account, attended the Jazzy finale last year and was super integral. ARP, that's what I call him for short. ARP. Kind of noticed what we were doing with Third Strike and noticed Jazzy, and at the beginning of the season, ARP was like, I'm going to be there and I'm going to try to help as much as possible. And so, in particular, ARP was super instrumental in helping us install USB decoders so that players could use their external input devices and their non-traditional controllers on the cabs. Kind of getting a taste of that arcade experience, but not sacrificing what they're comfortable using. And so ARP was super huge in making sure that we were able to accommodate players who chose to use their their devices. Punch a bunch of buttons. Punch a bunch of buttons. Yes, that is a CPS3. A little bit of lore for that case. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that case is a metal case for CPS3 boards. But David, that case was only available in America. It was only available for for boards that were in America, and so ARP happened to have one of these cases. It's super rare, super sought after. I don't even have one myself. I have multiple boards, but I don't even have that metal case, and I would love one. But yeah, ARP brought one of his cases, and he had everyone sign it. And so I just thought, what an awesome photo. Maybe one day, who knows, someone will start a Third Strike or arcade museum. This would be a great exhibit, but this is kind of the CPS3 case with everyone who attended the Jazzy finale this past season, and everyone assigned it. And so, shout outs to Arcade Random Posting. Follow Arcade Random Posting on Twitter, and I think he might be on Blue Sky now, but follow us too. We're on X, we're on Discord. Don't consider donating to us at our Give Butter. Again, we are a non-profit, so all donations are tax deductible. We have an Instagram that we never update.
Oh, we have it.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, when I expire, Audrey, you have my permission to stuff me like a, you know, like what do you call those things again? The
Taxidermy.
Taxidermy. You
That'd
can
be sick at the
taxidermy
finale
me,
because we were wearing the belt.
Yeah, the mutant mummy. You can. I'll donate myself to museum. You could stuff me with you know, Sanwa buttons, and then, you know, display me for everyone to see. But yeah.
In the chat here, Artace, I think, really gets to the point of what Jazzy is all about, right? He says here, can't go all over the states to Cali, New York for most players. That's why it's the same old players every time. Yeah, but with Jazzy, Artace, and we've got auto qualifiers in Tempe, Arizona, in Chicago, again, right in my own backyard. We got them popping off in, you know, in Dallas, Fort Worth area. And of course, even outside of those auto qualifiers, there's ranking events everywhere. Right? I mean, last season we had more than 100 ranking events, all put on by totally independent third-party TOs. And that's something that, you know, if it wasn't clear during our presentation here, one of the things that I believe in the most strongly regarding Jazzy is the fact that, you know, these ranking events, of which there are countless every season, they're only happening thanks to the hard work and dedication of TOs that believe in Third Strike, who we oftentimes, you know, I wish we could have even a closer relationship with them. But what they do is they create these events and they submit them for consideration for being part of the circuit. And of course, you know, like Mutant points out, our requirements are very, very few and far between. So it's very easy for us to have many events in the season. And I love it, Artace. I love that we have, you know, events happening where you would never expect to find Third Strike. And if you guys want to be aware of when it's happening in your own neighborhood, then again, please check out our, you know, our start page, jazzycircuit.org, and look at the event schedule, because you might be surprised to find events happening near you. And if they're not, again, just let us know. We'll make sure that it happens. We'll work with you. We can make sure that you're running an event in your neighborhood. It's super sick. There's 3S all over the country now. It's not just New York and California.
I know we're just a few minutes away, at least from New Year's in your neck of the woods, David. Yes. I know you're on Eastern Standard Time. So I think this is really great timing. But, you know, before I get out of here and let you continue with the stream, David, once again, just, you know, I can't find the words. Beyond humbled. Everyone who has, you know, supported Jazzy. You know, this definitely had some humble beginnings. But, you know, if it wasn't for all of the support from people in the community.
Yeah, me in the chat right now. Thank you guys for supporting Jazzy.
Yeah, and so, you know, Happy New Year, David.
Happy New
Year to everyone in the stream chat. Happy New Year to everyone in the Third Strike community, in the fighting game community and beyond. Looking forward to 2025. It's going to be a kind of a new era for Jazzy, so stay tuned. We got a lot more to announce and talk about. And so, yeah, Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, dog. Play Third Strike, guys, 2025.